content, you know.
Brothers gotta, know that this a dog eat dog world,
Okay.
and we
Well, I
gotta.
think that's all I had here.
In that interview, he also talked
So
about
I think
how
what I'm going to
men, when
do
they dress a
now,
certain way, they view a certain, and that's true. When you are dressed a certain way, people look at you, one way, or when you dress another way. People say it shouldn't matter, but it don't matter what you say. It's the way the world works. Now, if you don't like the way the world works, you be the change, and you change that perception, right? A lot of people, repeat what Kevin says about people who make six-figure salary. He used a term, in his platform called high value man. Now, my, definition of value, may be a little different than his definition, right? I believe that in order to have value, you must benefit others. I mean, if you're making six figures, seven figures, eight figures, or whatever you're making, if you're just making the money for yourself and you're not benefiting others, and what kind of value do you have? My thing is, what are you doing with, the money that you have? What are you, building people up? Are you, training the next generation? What are you doing? Because if you just say, I got money, look at me, that's really not any kind of value. But that's like I said, I think, my opinion. Kevin,
as a man, you at $25,000 a year, okay? I remember feeling a certain way at 25,000. I felt there was certain, women I couldn't talk to at that stage of my life. I felt certain places I couldn't go. I didn't have the self-esteem, right? Because I was making that amount of money, not much resources with it all. Now, but when you cross over, to that other tax bracket, when you're making six figures, things like that, and you start having six-figure products, when people are in a different realm, when they're not happy about tax time, they're like, trying to pay, the IRS. You're dealing with, other people's problems, right? And when you're like us, we establish our company, we're doing okay. So I can relate to both sides of that conversation. And I will tell you, I have confidence.
But when you are at that level, let's say you're a single man, you're going to be more confident. Your self-esteem definitely going to be more higher. Because now you have, within yourself, you have the resources. You know that you could buy maybe certain things if you choose to, right? Now everybody spends money like that. You know that you don't have to put up with any old woman. You can choose whatever women you want to. Certain areas you go to, a certain kind of women in those areas, right? When a man is making $24,000, $30,000 a year, he kind of got to put up with whatever he can afford. You understand? So certain things that Kevin is saying in that level is actually true. In the area you into dating, right? I don't believe, me personally, just me, I don't believe your value, like I say, you got to be valuable to others, right? And I don't think if a person don't make a certain amount of money, the brother is, not valuable, because the brother could be in a process and transition to that. Especially got a good idea, he's a good man. But the main thing I'm making this video about is not so much about Kevin's content, and I spoke to Kevin many times behind the scenes. Before, one thing I can tell you about Kevin, he hasn't changed anything he said. It's nothing new. He's been talking this way for a long time. But one thing I noticed, some people, and I've been paying attention to this for a while, do street. Let me tell y'all, because I can relate to that too. You see,
And instead of celebrating a brother or sister for their growth, you may not agree with their content. You may not agree with them personally. That's fine. You don't have to. If you don't agree with their content, you don't have to watch it. No one is forcing you to watch no one's content on YouTube or any social media page. That's first and foremost. But the crabs in the barrel mentality comes from people watching this brother, have a lot of people on his live stream. Eternal crab in the barrel mentality on his phone. He taking what I say. I said that before him. I was saying this, and let me say something about that. When you sit up here and say someone is taking from you, and I said this before, and look, they copied everything I say, you make yourself look real bad doing that. And let me explain to you why. You're the originator, allegedly, the originator of what you're saying. And you mean to tell me you're the originator of whatever you were saying all this time, and you let a guy that you didn't know listen to what you said, and then he started allegedly repeating what you said, and he took your original thing you said, and now he's being praised for it? Well, why is it that you aren't being praised for what you said? Why is it that you didn't know what to do with words? How is it with words? What? It was yours. Why you didn't do nothing with it all that time? How could I come along and then say something you said and getting above you? How's that happening? So please, saying things like that, that's not a good look. It's just not, okay? I understand that brother's in his own lane with that. I seen brothers, one brother, I'm not gonna be mentioning names. I'm getting to Umar later. This one brother. Do it. It makes you do your platform. But no, the crab in the barrel mentality. You see the brother getting some numbers, he getting some interviews, he doing whatever he's doing, and it eats you up because in your mind you're saying, why is it him, not me? I mean, I sound better, I'm more experienced, and I'm more, charismatic, I'm this, I'm that. I've had people say that about me, oh, he sounds so country. I'm this, why him, not me? I've had that. So I definitely can relate to that mess. Where people saying all this stuff about you, looking for any old thing to try to discredit you from what you're doing. I seen them bringing pictures of that brother from high school and talking about, whatever he was doing in high school to try to discredit him. I've been there. Making videos about it. Now, in your mouth, now they know who he is. Yeah. You just work for him for free. Now you get paid for marketing. Understand how that works? Mm-hmm. But now let's get to Mr. Umar Johnson here. Now, Umar Johnson don't like me. He don't like me, and that's fine. Okay? It's fine. No problem. Because I've called Umar out on his BS,
and I was right. I was right on everything I said about him. I didn't have to eat crow on nothing I said years ago, and I still got the.
My new money goal: refinance, free of cash.
You're right there,
turn my spare
man.
into a recording studio.
I take the middle ground with it myself. Anybody you have to make a lot of
whatever they doing with Kevin.
That's true.
And some of these brothers are on, monetization of that attention. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true.
And so they viewing, hey, if all those women over there, Kevin is getting more bread because of all those women over there. They're not over here with me. But at the same time, Umar was around a lot longer than Kevin. Umar's been on the Breakfast Club and all over the world Umar's been to. So why in the world are you worried about Kevin Samuels and what he's saying? Oh, well, he's talking bad about the women. He's doing this and he's doing that. Well, you know what? From what I see on his show, Kevin talks to them. I don't agree on everything how Kevin talks to people. I wouldn't do it. But Kevin talks to him in a way, to a point, like their daddy should have talked to him. And a lot of people in the black community had their daddy around. So they literally call it Kevin Samuels asking daddy questions. I'm just being honest with you. They ask him so many questions, you should be asking your daddy.
Yes.
Not another man online.
That's true.
You understand?
That's true. He's
This
right.
is not about, well, some of these dudes, this is not about some of them. This is black turn them up.
That's the thing. A lot of you had a lot of opportunities to do things with your quote-unquote words. And I think even Umar accused him too. He took everything. He's listening to me. Like, okay, if he's listening to you and you still haven't done nothing with it and you're not doing the numbers he's doing, then why is it that you need to look at yourself?
Exactly.
Instead of attacking that brother.
Exactly.
And it's not about Kevin's content being right or wrong. I just don't like watching what I'm watching and then trying to use black women's name to come up here and talk about you doing something noble for black women by coming at Kevin Samuels. No, you're not. You just jealous and got that crab in the barrel mentality because of that man's numbers.
Yes.
And this is why, and I don't understand how somebody like Umar would even pull that when you sitting up here know better. He knows better. He knows better than that. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. But I'm gonna go there. When a black woman came to him to ask for help for her son, oh, I'm going there because it's public.
Now, a professional will say, even if the woman, he said, well, the woman came on to me, let's say that happened, and he's just completely innocent. Professionalism say, no, sister. That's one thing I cannot do. I cannot cross a professional boundary like
Exactly.
that. If I'm helping your son, that's something that I don't
Exactly.
do. Because it's not, it's a conflict of interest, it's not a good integrity on me.
Exactly.
And I'm celibate right now. That was the thing at the time. He said he was celibate. So, your track record, talking about black women. Now you supposed to be the champion of black women. I'm just, it just don't make sense to me.
They be getting numbers, getting deals all day long. They be getting numbers.
That's true.
A lot of them white YouTube be getting numbers.
Yes.
You don't see them all attacking each other because of that reason.
Exactly.
They got their little beefs, and I've seen it here and there, but it's fine. Do them. I don't care what they do. I'm talking about what we do as our community. How come it can't be more than just one person getting attention?
Exactly.
Right? Why can't it be more than one person doing numbers? Enough room for everybody in this space. It's enough. If you want to be conscious and Pan-African, there's a room for that. If you want to talk about dating and relationships, there's room for that. If you want to talk about sports, if you want to talk about space for that. It's jealousy because it's a spirit behind it. I've been watching too many videos like that. I think that's the shame. If you disagree with Kevin Samuels on what he says about dating and women, okay, fine. He put it in the public space. Go ahead and disagree with it. But what I'm saying is none of this is normal. And it's just piling on a brother who's been talking that way forever. Why y'all didn't talk about Kevin a year ago? Why? He been talking like that. No, it's not about Kevin and what he's saying. It's the fact is you seeing the numbers, and that's what it is. So to sum this up, it's just a barrel. You can lie and say it's not, but I've seen this too much. That it is crabs in a barrel, and they just coming at that because they mad about his numbers, his streams, his chats, and anything else that he's getting. Because that's just my assessment. That's all it is to it. Because if you had so much of a problem with the brother, you'd have been saying something about him a year ago.
And back to what he's saying, I'm gonna show you how many people was talking about it. Just Kevin Samuels. This person got homework 7.2. This one, the Mansfield highlights. Kevin Samuels up here. Yeah, he's popular on the YouTube. There's a couple other ones, couple sites. Yeah, they're talking about him. Even the one of the
Numbers, I mean, that's what it is. Cause right now he's the thing. See, he's up in this, he's up here. This is on a website called Tasha K. And he's on numerous.
and the master talk about it quite a bit, you know, and they was mention about that, but yeah, that is clearly, he's right. What I see is okay, you have a district, and you may not agree with his point of views, and like he said, agree. If he did it, he put himself out there, looking and grab old pictures of when he was on and stuff. That was really, yeah, I seen some people do that. I wouldn't agree. I'm like, wow. And whether the man's sexual, whether he's bisexual, gay, whatever, you know, they want father.
One looked like she 25, one looked like I'm 23. I said, oh,
It is the truth. No one should.
back it up and then, but the thing is, you raise it at some point.
I'd be over 3 pounds. Because then in the future when I look at you, I can see the certain amount at what rest. Because this isn't my best. My best is yet to come. But you should earn and discern my
So, what has the question ever been posed to this black woman?
I will say, I think in a roundabout way, yeah, it has, and I'm still doing, I still have my Facebook, I still get out within the community. Black women aren't willing to do anything, and I keep saying because they're able to get certain type of validation and they're able to make the money, I hear for what? Like, why? I'm not so victim. Because we understood that the black woman and the black man are on each side. Now that we're all free and independent and we can do whatever we want to, why do we seek to, be one with the black man?
Thank you. Clip it, slice it, put it on what she said it. Now, proof do you need?
You want to go on social media as a woman and you can post pictures, you can get all the validation and attention for whatever that time frame is, and you rinse and you repeat. If you're not able to get the attention on social media, you go to if you can't get it on Facebook, you go to Instagram. If you can't go to Instagram, you go to Twitter. You can't go to Twitter, you go to Snapchat. After you do that, and let's say you still didn't get enough attention, you can go to Tinder, you can go to Plenty of Fish, you can swipe right, and it's instant. And then she's able to have her affirmative action job, and she's still able to make a certain amount of money and drive a car. And then people
Always to like, absent because, I
necessarily to be single, but I miss the single life. I miss the text messages reason. I miss the coming up for my me when I'm scrambling eggs and just kissing me in the back of the neck. Like,
I still Mark. I still do that.
How much proof do you need?
The trappings of being single. Like, okay, you two are really good looking people, okay? And you're married. And we're married. There's people that flirt with you. And the part of the flirtation is making us go wayward, really go wayward. But part of the flirtation even makes you look at your phone is, or in your workspace, is that they have like or newness. And I personally believe that all called fresh.
And I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, you know, he has a lot of the qualities, no? He has a lot of the qualities that that I love, and we're having a really good time, and I'm enjoying life, so there is hope in faith.
How much proof do you need?
If sex is a chore for you that you don't really want to do, why do women constantly push monogamy on men? If you know that you don't want to have to deal with him all the time just wanting you, why not?
Well, who's to say I push anything on anybody? Like,
Well, we know monogamy on me.
I'm not even.
We're talking about sex? You're gonna lie now to the people?
Deval, knowing
You didn't want monogamy?
Of course I did.
So then why are you avoiding the question?
That's not avoiding the question. I'm saying, does that mean because I wanted and I requested that you were going to deliver it? Like, nobody pressed you for that.
Talking about, you just said you wanted it and requested it. Do you not hear yourself?
I can make a request. Is the request going to be granted?
And
That's
I-
it.
So, how much proof do you need?
And I told people
If sex is a chore for you, that's the question. You're avoiding the
I'm
question.
not avoiding the question, but at first you said men, women, or in general me specifically, are pushing monogamy on somebody. Okay, yes, that's...
So then,
check this out. Only I can think first. That Grandmaster J. Let's first deal with it. First, you need to know that Grandmaster J. So they can get the money given to them by way of transfer, and there is no dirt on anybody's hands. A lot of these frauds, they have these what I call Ghost LLC.
I dealt with that for years too.
In
Like, and I
fact,
was
you
young.
don't
Like,
find
yeah,
any
like, oh my
work
God.
being done
Because I
under
don't
these
want it. But
corporations.
it'd be nice to know that, like, someone's looking. That can get dangerous. Right.
Yeah,
That can get
shout out
real
to
ever
Street, you know what I
for
mean?
1 minute that it ain't no
They
something
don't have,
out there looking
they
at you
don't
like
have
I wish.
any real work
I'm
done
gonna
in
tell you
these
who knows
corporations.
that more than anybody.
But the corporation still exists.
Your
The
husband?
corporation
You
is
mean Will
fully
Smith?
functional,
How much proof
but
do
there's
you
no
need?
real operational
And then
work.
I got into
But
an
this is
entanglement
how
with
the people
August. That's what I said.
transfer the money and no hands get seen.
Yes.
There is no dirt on anybody's hands.
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
How much proof do you need?
Then they can file taxes on it and claim that it was work for entertainment, etc., etc., etc.
I just
And
wanted to
y'all ready
feel
for this
good.
one?
It had been so
Before we get to that,
since I felt
let me show you this.
good.
Oh, how much proof do you need?
What you looking at right here?
That being said, if you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is. And I reserve the
Grandmaster
right.
Day was an actor, and these are new.
How much proof do you need?
I care about
He was an
the
actor
contract with Black America for women, and it's
in
not,
this
we're not
movie
mentioning
called
in the contract with
Good
Black
Night,
America. And I
Y'all
want to
mention, I mean, when you mention black people, you
What under
mention
the
black
name?
women, so don't count yourself out.
No,
Yes,
that's
you
not
are.
true.
John
Administration saying that
Fitzgerald.
Black people,
Y'all see that?
black women are not
See
included
that?
in black people.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's what you're saying.
How
can
much
look
proof
this
do
up.
you need? Shit.
Definitely, I think that testing needs to be mandatory.
Actually, can look this up, and I'm gonna leave this on the screen so you can do your own research. This is the new receipt. You can look this
I
up.
think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is
He was in
stupid.
5
I don't think
episodes
that,
of Matthew
you know,
and 1
it's
episode
something
of
that
Mike.
if you feel like you need a DNA
I mean, his
test,
name
go
was
do that
Mike,
in your own
and his name was
time
Matthew.
because you feel that way. I don't think every person, there's millions of people in the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense that people could be using that time to do other things. Like, you could be saving a life. You could be in the hospital saving a life.
How much proof do you need?
So this is what I would say. I think that y'all want this to be mandated because of a conversation you are not strong enough to have with your girl. 1. 2. You requesting DNA, first of all, this is a very gendered question, right? There's no way for a woman, well, let me not speak for every woman. For me specifically, there's no way if my man came up to me, I wouldn't feel some type of offense. But fine, if you have the right to know whether it's your child or not, because I know this is my child, right? But to say that it's mandated is where I have a problem. Who is picking up those costs? The U.S. government? The U.S. government should be paying for these mandatory tests for you to know. No, first of all, we have so many issues in this country already. To then place that type of payment on the U.S. government is wrong. No. And first of all, healthcare does not cover so many ailments that are like people are dying from. Just feminine products. So for you to make that mandatory, that would have to be a government issue. If you want a mandatory test, you pay for it yourself. You pay for it yourself. So that's fine. That's fine. So that's really
This is called the Mainstream Highlights Daily.
How much proof do you need?
I personally pay taxes, and I care about where my money goes. I'm not here to pay for so-and-so because there's a confusion about who's the father. That's not my business. Handle your personal shit. And for me, I want to fund schools. I want to fund the MTA because the trains are never on time. We got bigger problems. We have bigger problems. I'm sorry. I'm not paying for no mandatory tests.
How much proof do you need?
In the mind of this building, it's developing this concept so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? No, real talk. So all this tourism and shit, taking the crime, taking the fee. Don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I want men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are talking on glass here? If you want to do it, check out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out.
Public information that does good research.
Don't do it again.
This is good research.
How much proof do you need? You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. How much proof do you need? I can do this all day. So much more evidence.
I can go deeper in there, but I got another show that I would do on Grand
This video has officially been highlighted.
I got a bunch of more receipts.
You see how silly and childish this is? There's no sense about relationships. And even when you talk about intimacy, well, I mean, if you're engaged in sexual intercourse, that is a form of intimacy. When you talk about, you get more intimate in terms of physical than that.
There was talk about, it said, how much proof do you need? His website says, write me, walk away. And it was highlighting what women are saying and why it's getting under some men's nerve. It's like they can't make up their mind of what they really, they say things and they don't consider the man at all. They just feel like they're being self-centered. Basically, that's what he's saying that on the manosphere highlight. He's saying, how much proof do you need? And then women saying, no, it's the men's fault. So that's basically what that was about. But yeah, this is this guy Kevin Samuel, he stirred up the YouTube feeds and he's getting numbers, he's getting a lot of attention and a lot of people talking about it on all different sectors. And his numbers are going up, like Phil was saying. It's the truth. I see the analytics on it. So, and there's some people that don't like him that's trying to pull him down. So yeah, he makes a good point. And we're gonna now.
And it's true, most women, they're not out here just trying to get their cookies crushed like that. It's not even in a woman's nature. It's not. But Umar, he sees it that way, because he wouldn't even be phrasing it this way unless he had a perception that there are these black women.
Guess who's on Umar again?
You know what I'm talking about?
He's on Umar's case. Oh, sorry.
He doesn't. But why would he if his whole intent is to crush cookies anyway? Okay. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay? That lightning strike. Umar looking like Lil Bill. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Gary Farrell said the super sticker. Thanks so much. Thank you for the super sticker and the super chat. I also have Cash App. There's a link down below if you'd like to send Cash App. I also have a PayPal link down below in the description for this video. Thank you guys so much. Right. Oh! I love you. That's kind of cool. Are you intimate with the man's personality or are you intimate with his penis? Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? If the lightning rod stopped working, would you still be in love? Okay? Do you love to be with him or do you love to be with his hard ladies? Stop lying to yourself, ladies. Stop lying to yourself. Master the 4 elements, here we go. Remember? He's basically grooming these women in this so-called lecture. That I got ladies. He's grooming them. That's what he's doing. Simply, I'm looking for 4
this is another guy. But hold on. He's sitting in a hotel room, lonely and shit, and thirsty as hell. He knows that he's about to have a lecture, so he's going to have access to women, so he can't help but to start talking about sex. It goes to show you what his intent is. It's not about saving black boys. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's like, but he may still you stupid. I'm just going to holiday in, and the man thirsty as fuck talking about sex and cookies. This is the guy that's going to help black boys. You guys out your damn mind.
Harris said, I just came for Umar's advice on relationships. Let the infinite knowledge begin. Yes. Umar's knowledge on relationship failure is infinite.
Y'all think they protected the freedom? Come on, guys. Y'all really think they protected the earth? Everywhere he went, they put up barriers to protect them for the most part. Except for
young people like, what's the danger?
Stone Mountain. And I can show you why they did.
Have never been with the movie.
He had protection. I guarantee you, some true revolutionaries he had protection. See that barrier with that cage? That's protection. Don't no revolutionary march or make an event behind no cage. Don't no revolutionary do that. Those but the stop on the buses will be something that cannot harm him in no way, shape, or form. What happened to Sister Radio? Remember they was protecting this sister under the protection of NFAC? You notice how these stories come and go? Anybody ever notice that? How these stories come and go? What happened? Remember these stories? She was under the protection. What happened? No follow-up? No. The shit that he used to identify himself in the crowd. Anybody ever seen the video that I did on that? That is the outfit. Or you have on a Black Lives Matter sweatshirt with the same pants in 4 different cities to identify himself in a crowd. This was the original picture that surfaced on his website. After he started making himself a fake revolutionary. He wore these pants to every city. Every city on a fake revolutionary mission. But now, the problem with that is that the picture was photoshopped. There's a real picture right there. He superimposed himself in the picture. He's been an actor, he is an actor, and it is what it is. That's the real picture. He's been an actor, he is an actor, it is what it is. No one should fall for this mess.
real one. It's the real picture right here. There it goes. Real picture. Look close. Look behind. And if you look close, you can see the white line. He's a fraud.
What's it called?
You're a fraud.
That's what it's called.
Anybody that think he's going to say. They showed up for the wrong call. They answered the wrong guy. And now he refuse to trust of our people. That if it was time to show up again, we might not show up. You understand what I'm saying? This is what the government agents do. Y'all think that government agents come out to try to break in your house, steal this out your house and do this, do that? No! They destroy the trust of the people. And if someone was to come out to make a call for something serious, not many are going to answer because of this scam. Look at this. That's how they work. They destroy your confidence. Look at this. Look at all them police. What revolutionary group get a police escort? Where is that at? Somebody tell me where that picture taken. I don't think many people seen that picture. Anybody know where that picture is taken? What picture is that? Anybody know? Somebody name where that picture was taken. Anybody know? There's a reason you didn't see this picture on the internet. That's Stone Mountain. You know why you never seen this picture on the internet? Because it shows the police escort. It shows all the police there. That's Stone Mountain. You've never seen many people, unless they've done research. Many people never seen this picture. Because this picture shows the police. They never wanted you to see the police. But let me tell you something about research, family. I don't have a magic wand when it comes to research. I want to help y'all out so y'all can discover fraud. I don't have a magic wand when it comes to research. I just have a sixth sense, if you will.
Some people don't know, but some people do know.
Of people that would do harm, and I just start looking at this. Now this ain't right. This can't be right. This ain't right. I start looking for something. So I catch a lot of stuff before they even get popped. And then I just make a folder. I make a folder. I catch a lot of inconsistencies. So when someone starts coming up, because I'm in the freedom fighting mission, I'm in the freedom fighting demonstration. Absolutely. So I'm looking. Is he real? Is he real? I don't want to be beside somebody who's not real. Is he real? Is he real? Is she real? Is she real? I don't want that type of complication. So when I see somebody pop up,
There's some stuff tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Take it. I'm just getting both sides. What I'm doing is just to show you what's going on both sides of the track. Whether you believe in, that's a serious allegation, and they say that the man is not good. But here's another website I want. Another person talking about. He's been talking about it for a while. I can find this. Here is the major one right here. You probably know about this one.
This year will continue to be about to
Guys, you know, I've been talking a lot about Kevin Samuels and the success that the brother has had over the last year. I would say maybe one of the last
Jim Jones, that's the guy that I was
and his inclination in the algorithm here on YouTube, so-called social media. You know, now you hear the big people talking about DJ and I'm going to close to them a little bit later.
He's absolutely right. There's a lot of
a great inclination for incline, if you will. But on the other now, a year ago, if you would have told me that Kevin Samuels would be bigger than Derrick Jackson, I probably would have not predicted it. I would have thought that the way he was going, he'd be at a few 100,000 subscribers. But I would have never thought that Kevin Samuels, Derrick Jackson, body would be
number 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth reason why she's taking out of out of relationships mentally. That's because of a nigga like Jackson.
I used to think like that here.
But what I want to talk about, if I can discuss this,
but here's the thing.
Look at the likes here. Okay, I want to please my editor to pay attention to what you're seeing here on the screen. There's 1,001 likes, 1,500 dislikes.
And he waves at me.
Okay? And then the comments be, that's funny. Look,
with all the other comments, that's roasting his ass, please don't even, talk about or subscribe to.
but the thing that I want to say is, the thing is out. Okay? I think what you're tired of seeing from many African American women are people like Derrick Jackson, I will say even to a certain degree, people like Dr. Umar Johnson, who are just telling them what they want to hear. And then at the end of telling them what they want to hear, there are no results. Okay? There are no results for men or women that Derrick Jackson tangibly talks about. Few reasons. Number one, Derrick Jackson's a relatively young man. He's under 30, or maybe 31, under 40. To be honest. Alright? And for guys who are older than anybody like Derrick Jackson, or for guys to take him seriously, you'd have to have top level information or top level knowledge. He doesn't. That makes him a man that no one can respect. Older men typically are going to have a hard time listening to a younger guy on the male side. I'm 40, there are a lot of guys who are 50 or 60, but I make a lot of goddamn sense. This is the reason why y'all listen to me. But on the flip side, Derrick Jackson is a young man who still makes mistakes.
in his own personal life. It's hard to advise that without the experience.
Gary Harold Johnson, born he was an American businessman, author, politician, and former presidential candidate who served as 1929 governor, the 29th governor of New Mexico from 1995 to 2003 and a member of the Republican Party. He was a Libertarian Party nominee for President of the United States in 2012 and 2016. This was the Johnson! But he was on the internet frauding people. He was somebody says, let me make this fix. How they're trying to scam him and all that. I want you to read all of it.
The care you deserve. Get started now.
That's what it comes down to. Still, you're the best for the righteous seek to empower and prevent. So you lost the election for well, Don, my man. Thank you. Was that well done? Ran for president, but he didn't even get no votes. Nobody voted for him. He ran for president as a distraction. He wanted to steal votes for Donald Trump then. It's called a distraction. Whole video on that, how when one is a plan to run for office, just to steal votes, not expected to win, but just to steal votes. But he didn't even steal no votes. This man, I'm trying to tell you. So the only thing I say that he has done for our community was prove that we could come together. But the trust is messed up now. So here we go. Let's fire it up. Here we go with Rebel Polite. Anybody remember this? This is supposed to have been Brother Polite wife, Victoria. Now, I'm not coming at the sister Victoria, but that's supposed to have been one of his wives in 2016. I'm not coming at a failed relationship. Follow me? That's not what I'm coming at. Anybody remember Victoria?
It's a lot of years living on Earth.
Anybody remember Victoria?
Even me.
Y'all don't remember her?
The way life has slowed down for me at age 40, brothers, is even more close at 35.
Anybody from confidence? Something dramatic stood out about the story.
It's the best teacher.
Big man, I've been trying to get
It brings a certain amount of wisdom.
for the last 20 years, but ain't working.
But when you're a guy like Eric Jackson, you just don't have those. Alright? And this is kind of why you listen to young guys who are in the dating coach game, stuff like that. You know, I'm not hating or anything like that, but one of the things I would say that is at their disadvantage, any young person under 30 is a lot of experience.
Stuff and stuff.
People are tired, especially, and that's even young women who are dating coaches. The lack of experience is what kills Derek Jackson. In comparison to a guy like Kevin Simmons. So we're going to talk about what you just said with Victor.
What stood out about Victoria?
In
Then when you don't have any results behind it,
Don't ask him why.
the only thing you get is either Guy Jackson, guys are just not like him. That's another thing. He's not realistic. More guys are more like Kevin Samuels than Derrick Jackson. Which is why nobody really emulates Derrick Jackson. A lot of guys.
But understand, if you're going to get sauce, every week, opportunity we have. So when it's time to turn up, you know you don't gotta look back. Power! Y'all remember that? Everybody remember what happened right there? Everybody remember what happened right there? Let me tell you what happened right there. Polite claimed that he was going to the bank. So the police ran up on him. And it took Victoria and broke her arm.
Who are they saying has
Y'all
more
remember that?
Who are they saying
Had broke her arm.
Who's talking more about their issue?
And they were suing
See, the women are
the
understanding
LA,
now is that Derrick Jackson
I think LA County Police Department.
He's speaking to them and telling them what they should want to hear. But the guy that they're describing is not
Then if I went too deep, I could have showed you where Victoria had a sling on her arm. And we'll talk about that on Deconstructed Brother Polite. And then she did another video a few weeks later with the sling on the wrong arm.
Damn.
The sling was prison.
nobody has fought him like he's still from Christian.
Come on the video.
We've talked about it. Umar doesn't.
Sling on this arm one day.
He lives in a. See, I feel like it's like I'll study.
Looking all distraught.
Before maybe like this. He lives in a fantasy.
I didn't even want to say a week. A few days later, because Blake was going live a lot then. She comes back. The next thing you know, it's on this arm. He caught that.
Damn.
One time.
And people still ride with this madness. I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to show y'all the evidence when I do Deconstructed Brother Polite.
We're gonna teach your boys how to be black.
He had it on the wrong arm.
We're gonna have a junior gun club.
I'm looking at this like, hey, am I the only one that see this?
But
am I the only one that see this? I said, let me click this. Screenshot. Put that in the folder for later.
It's your boy. No shade, Derrick Jackson.
What?
It's an older video. He goes,
Y'all remember that? They was building cargo houses. That's what he said. I'm trying to tell you that his company was building these cargo houses out of cargo bins. Y'all remember that? Ain't nobody held him accountable to that? How do you get out of this stuff? How do these people get to influence our people and get out of this stuff?
Let's get back to this video now.
How does that work?
And thanks everyone too. I appreciate it.
This man went and put on a jumpsuit like he's really out there working. Check him out. We get to that. Oh, no, I like that laugh. I like the laugh. Hold on, let me get the laugh again. Find the laugh. Later. We get it in. Watch it. Watch it. We get it in. Get him for life. I gotta get the smile. There it is. We getting it in.
You'll say, we're going to get renovations started back in April.
So far, it's 2 for 1.
Come on, man. There's nowhere in the world that nobody should get away with this and be able to influence anybody in our community. Never. Never. We getting it in.
You don't have a team. You can't get. See,
we getting it in.
It became very apparent at one time.
And when we did
He was
that,
going to influence our children.
and there was a guy who said that, he said, I never hired this guy, we had nothing to do with this guy, so we're polite. He ain't, the guy who owned, the guy who owned the company that this guy was working for at the time, polite, said that he never authorized anything. So this guy is telling the truth on this polite one. Polite did come here to Ohio and did that. And the man who owned the cargo bin said, no, we don't have, there's no such partnership. And in fact, they had the video on it. So he lied. That's what I said. And then he come here teaching some old school stuff. It was crazy, man. He's right on this one.
Right here next to Pennsylvania. That's his home city, Philadelphia. You can tell me that after 46 years of being on the planet, you can't organize.
There go Victoria. There she go. There she go. He said, do you know how many sisters would not endure this cold weather? They done threw on a jumpsuit and jumped in there. Let me tell you something. One of the dead giveaways of that video when I first seen it, right, was the fact that it was only 3 people on the work site. And he got on a dirty jumpsuit saying that we didn't. No, he got a little bit of stains on the jumpsuit, like paint stains. Look like they've been painted. But the whole thing about it is that there was only 3 or 4 people on the job site. There was only 4 people on the job site. It was him, the guy with the pencil, the girl, and a man standing down in the middle of nowhere. No job site looked like that. Unless you go there after hours. Unless you go there after hours. There's no job site looks like.
Thanks, big man.
You have to go there after hours. And most likely, the guy with the pencil in his head had access. Yeah. The guy with the pencil in his head had access and gave him access. Yeah, jumpsuit was clean for a construction site. Absolutely. Yeah, Crip said the same thing. But it just had a couple paint stains on it. So that was a day difference. But the point that I'm making is we need to stop allowing these things to happen. We need to know, and we need to get refreshers. I'm going to do this again next in 6 months. We need to get refreshers because we forget too fast.
And thanks everybody too.
We forget too fast.
Paul says someone needs to do a carbon dating on that loan and
that being
call it the CF from the Moyer Academy here. Or it's from a more recent, no, it is more recent. It is. Because they have one running water.
They want you to pay for it.
Different people living in it. I'm going to say this.
They said Ohio condominium attraction video loan from public for life, while the latest 50K victim disappeared. Over the last few days, the video surfaced of Brother Polite at a development site claiming he himself was the brains behind the latest idea of building affordable housing. In the video, Polite states that a cargo bin apartment is the latest real estate venture he has taken on today. Chief with the project also claimed
bottom line over there, backspace. Yeah. You understand? I was trying to get you to point. Hold up, I got you. Let me bring it up real quick.
The property vacant. They're vacant.
Bring it up right now.
And he's live streaming.
Oh yeah, here it is. I want you to see it. My
getting at in terms of that Jim
will be contacted.
There's no telling how many times. Unless
so they went on the live feed and said my attorney will be contacting you.
Multiple cookies and multiple.
To cease and desist.
And Umar, he goes.
Somebody said you might also want to contact the police to address the trespass.
I'm not saying that.
He could hurt himself. Other people on the property. Duly noted. This guy is a bold scammer. And it makes you think that his name might not even be Michael Nowak. Y'all think about that? He may not be.
As a man, would you
What's the thought?
what kind of man?
Because this stuff is too
That's the
bold.
first you're gonna see your son.
You know one thing that you ever notice?
Or your daughters can for that.
There is no accountability.
If anyone, doesn't matter if it's a man or woman, if there was,
y'all remember
inside of a toilet, inside of a building, and multiple toilets in multiple buildings, and take a piss in multiple toilets in multiple buildings, not just in toilets, but then also those little stalls, the urine stalls, those two. And this person, man or woman, doesn't, and there's no running water, they don't think, they just let
anybody know this guy?